Hello everyone, I apologise for having wet hair for another video, and I hope you had a good Christmas, or whatever festival it was you choose to celebrate around this time. In Doctor Who they were talking about the halfway through the winter thing. If you celebrate that, good on you. This week we're talking about cognitive biases, and I'll explain what those are after the little bit of black screen. So, I first came across the concept of cognitive biases about 6 months ago. Someone pointed me towards this section of Wikipedia, which is a whole list of cognitive biases. I'll put the link down in the doobly-doo below to this page, and you can have a read through them all. I highly recommend it. It's great. It's great stuff. The best way I can describe what a cognitive bias is it's things everybody's brain does wrong when making judgments. Now, it's not a logical fallacy. I would probably do my next video would probably be on logical fallacies. It's slightly different from logical fallacies, because these are observed effects that seemingly everyone gets wrong, and it's to do with however our brain is wired, and they're discovered through experiment rather than through rigour, and well, they are discovered through rigour, that's what experiment is, but it's how they're not discovered through logical inconsistency. They've observe these in the wild, in the brain, as they are. So I'm going to go through a few, and I'm going to go through a couple of examples. And I'm sorry, there's going to be a few more cuts in this video, just because there's so many different things, and I'm going to try and keep it short as well, so I realise I've been rambling for a minute now. So first on the list is the big daddy of cognitive biases, the confirmation bias. Now you might have heard of this, it's fairly famous. Wikipedia describes it as the tendency to search for or interpret information in a way that confirms one's preconceptions. Now I can give a good example of this. Think about people say women drivers aren't very good. It's not true. Think about women drivers not being very good. Now this has come about through the confirmation bias. Now every time someone's driving along and they see someone drive badly or they see an accident, they're going to check subconsciously the gender of the drivers, as people do. They check people, they see people. And every time they see a woman driver driving badly, they're going to go, woman drivers, really bad. And every time they see a man driving, they're just going to go, other people, really bad drivers. Now, do you see what's happened here? They're confirming their preconceptions whenever they see a woman driving badly, and they're not confirming their preconceptions or they're not fighting their preconceptions whenever they see a man driving badly. So that's the confirmation bias, and I hope you're aware of it and you try and keep out of that kind of thinking. Hyperbolic discounting. This is quite an interesting one. It's the tendency for people to take a smaller payoff that's closer to them in time than a larger payoff that's further away. Now there's a very, it was my old video I think, of babies, children and marshmallows, and if you haven't seen it I'm going to put a link somewhere there perhaps, and you can go and have a look at that, because it's a perfect example of this, and I don't really need to explain this much further apart from maybe give an example of what I had. I was at a money machine once, and I had the ability to tap in how much money I wanted, or take a list of pre-chosen things to tap in. Now, I wanted to get out £200, I was going to a music festival, but the issue was that would take longer to tap in 200 than just to press the 180 button. And in my brain, I went, click, want the smaller outcome closer to me, so I pressed the 180 button, despite the fact I wanted 200, and despite the fact that 200 was only a few seconds further away. But that's what hyperbolic discounting does to your brain, and be aware of that one. This is the last one, I think. Put your hand on your face. If you didn't do that, then well done. You are now taking part in reactants, which is when you automatically want to not do what someone tells you to do as a sort of as a reaction, because you think that your freedoms are being taken away from you. Now, you might not consciously think, oh, my freedoms are being taken away from me, I'm not going to put my hand on my face, someone's telling me to do that, I don't want to do that. No, it's something that goes on the inside of your brain. This is what cognitive biases are. It's to do with the wiring of your brain and not to do with conscious thought. It's fairly self-explanatory, I think. It's, say, when your mum tells you to go put the rubbish in the rubbish bin or whatever, and you say, no, I'll do it later. It's reactants. You're trying to keep your power over yourself, and it's a cognitive bias because you're not consciously doing it. I think that's it. I think that's enough of those for them. There's a link in the doobly-doo, like I said, to a whole list of them. It's an amazing read. There's so many. It's great. I really recommend it. Next week I'm going to do a video on logical fallacies And oh yeah, I'm going to put moderator module on my channel, and you guys can vote on something you want me to talk about. I'm kind of thinking of getting rid of the rambles because I don't really have anything to talk about. But if you want me to do opinion pieces on stuff, somebody asked me about the student debates on my channel when I went to that. I did a comment. But if you want me to actually do an opinion piece on something, then I can put the moderator module on my channel, despite how it uglies up everything, and you guys can vote on what you want me to do a video on. Perhaps, maybe, think about it. Have a nice week. See you soon. Sorry for the really quick video, or me talking fast, but I'll see you soon.